Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has confirmed he'll meet with his counterparts from the UK, France and Germany, known as the E3, in Geneva on Friday. It will be the first face-to-face diplomatic meeting since Israel started its attack on Iran's military and nuclear sites.
Well, today is Friday. What you just saw, it's happening right now. In a quiet room in Geneva, Switzerland, the world's future might literally hang in the balance. Let me just turn my... Hopefully that fixes the audio. The future of the world might hang in the balance. Overstatement? No, because meetings like this can have knock-on effects, and domino effects might lead to a third world war. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi is sitting across from diplomats from the UK, France and Germany, the E3 as it's known, in what could be the last chance to prevent a massive Middle East war. Here's why this matters. Israel has been bombing Iran for a week straight now. It's the 7th/8th day, hitting nuclear facilities and military sites, civilian casualties. It's all a mess. Iran has been firing missiles back, something that potentially Israel did not really account for in terms of damage. Cities like Tel Aviv, Haifa, Beersheba have husks where once functioning buildings stood, and air raid sirens keep people occupied and disrupt their life for hours at a time, have them hiding in bomb shelters. Scenes that in scale in Israel cannot match Gaza, but the resemblance does not go unnoticed. And President Trump just announced yesterday that he's giving himself 2 weeks to decide whether America joins this fight or not. He says nobody knows what he's going to do, if he's going to attack or not. And obviously the comical, untold statement in that is he himself does not know what he's going to do. Now think about that. 2 weeks, 14 days to choose between diplomacy and potentially the first domino of World War III. Europe is desperately trying to be peacemaker here, something I've said many countries are trying to do. I just mentioned Saudi Arabia in a post yesterday about how they're trying to make peace, how Iran is sending diplomats and special letters to Qatar, for example, also trying to prevent the US joining so that we can de-escalate rather than escalate this conflict. Right? Many countries, both in and out of the region, are trying to be peacemakers. Yet it is potentially misplaced by the powers of Western Europe to arrange this meeting with Iran and not have Israel at the table. You see, they're offering Iran a way back to nuclear negotiations, but Iran is basically saying, we're not negotiating, number one, while bombs are falling on us. Number two, we were, in negotiations. After all, they were smack in the middle of negotiations with the US about their nuclear program. As Israel launched its attacks. If you check out my geopolitical analysis, of course, you probably know that my theory is that America, Iran were in negotiations. There was no real prospect of conflict, of war, and so Israel panicked, fearing that there would be no war that they can drag the Americans into and then, try for eliminating Iran and in the future establishing Greater Israel. So they had to initiate it. Now, they even asked Donald Trump, they said, please join us. We're going to airstrike these nuclear facilities. Donny Boy said, nah, and Netanyahu said, and went ahead by himself, and now he needs help because, that's Israel basically. Meanwhile, Trump is sitting in Washington with military strike plans on his desk, the button right there, weighing whether or not to use America's bunker-busting bombs, weighing on whether or not to thumb the red button to basically initiate American direct involvement. American bunker-busting bombs could target Iran's underground nuclear sites in the next 12 hours, or it could be sometime in the next 2 weeks, or he could stand down. Not fun fact really, but the bunker busters might not actually be able to reach the deepest critical nuclear facilities of Iran, but in theory these weapons might be able to, and if any weapons can, it would be these American bunker busters, 15 kilos each, dropped from B-2 bombers or what have you. Now the irony of all this, Geneva is the same city where the original Iran nuclear deal was born or was being discussed, and there was a breakthrough in diplomatic back and forth. After diplomatic back and forth by European powers and America with Iran, there was a breakthrough, and by 2015 the JCPOA was signed into agreement, a nuclear deal between Iran and the US and the Western powers. So what did that double-crossing Persian state do? Did they break the deal? I knew these guys couldn't be trusted. They're Persians, they're Muslims. Oh wait, no, they kept to their word. America broke their own deal. Back in 2018, Trump said it's a bad deal and reimposed unilaterally, meaning just by himself, sanctions on Iran. Iran kept to the deal that they signed, the nuclear deal. So break the deal, force back sanctions. Even then, Iran's come back to negotiating, and then the regional nutter basically goes on a mad one. well, back to Geneva they all go. Now it might be in that city where a decision is made on whether or not we will have further diplomacy, or if the era of diplomacy essentially is over and it dies forever. The veil is already well on its way to being lifted, as the Western world's double standards have been laid bare, far more in the last 2 years than ever before, vis-a-vis Gaza and, right to defend yourself. What does that look like? Can I defend myself by dropping bombs on hospitals? Apparently yes, if I support the West or align with the West. I'll be keen to hear what Western Europe has to say to Iran. After all, Israel hasn't shown up to Geneva. They are the ones attacking, so I'm not sure what you're going to agree with. Europe has this habit of, coming to an agreement about a party that's not really in the room. They do it with Russia and Ukraine, actually over and over again with ex-comedian Zelensky. Now, analytically speaking, Iran's retaliations have been very restrained, whether that's out of self-control or a lack of missile launchers or a wombo combo of the two is anybody's guess. I certainly don't know at this point. I'll keep watch of the situation. I'll report it back to you. And we can talk about whether or not millions of people will live in peace or are likely to suffer in war. Till the next video, for the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I hope my brain is not melting. I hope you've noticed also, melting by the way, from the sheer amount of content that I'm writing up and posting to you guys. So make dua for me, keep me in your prayers or what have you. Also, I have taken down the these things. So I should probably actually replace the batteries and put them back up. If someone can tell me where I can get these specific batteries, can I recharge these? See you on the next one. Unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin. You know the drill.